Chapter 9 Adobe Photoshop CC. Adobe Photoshop is the most popular program used for creating and modifying images for the internet and for publishing. It is developed by Adobe Systems. It is an extremely powerful and easy-to-use application. It provides several ways to edit images without making changes to the underlying data of the original image. Digital cameras tend to cause various problems such as red eye or hotspots. In Photoshop, you can correct these problems as well as adjust the overall color of your digital photo. Red eye removal. The digital camera flash is located right above the lens, which causes the red eye. However, you can fix your photos easily in Photoshop. To remove the red eye, follow the steps. Step 1. Open a photo you wish to correct. Step 2. Select the Zoom tool from the toolbox. Click and drag a rectangle around the eye. Step 3. Make sure your default foreground and background colors are black and white respectively. Step 4. Click Red Eye tool. Step 5. Click on the red part of the eye and paint, holding down the mouse button. You will see the red part will disappear. Removal of hotspot. Hotspot is a shiny area on a face which is caused by a flash reflecting off a shiny surface or by uneven lighting. It tends to make the face look as if it is oily or sweating. To correct this problem, follow the steps. Step 1. Open the photo you wish to correct. Step 2. Select the Clone Stamp tool from the toolbox. Step 3. In the options bar, change the blend mode from normal to darken. Step 4. Set the opacity to 50%. Step 5. Choose a soft-edged brush. Set the diameter to 40 or 50. Step 6. Hold down the Alt key and click in the clean area without hotspots to get a sample of color. Step 7. Paint over the hotspot. The light area will gradually darken. Adjusting colors. Color adjustment options in Photoshop can help you to make your digital photos look more natural. To correct the color of your images, follow these steps. Step 1. Open the image you wish to correct. Step 2. In the main menu, go to Image menu, then hover mouse pointer on Adjustments and choose Levels. You will see a dialog box displaying a diagram of the colors in your image. The black triangle is for shadows, the gray is for midtones, the white is for highlights. Step 3. In the Channel drop-down menu, you can choose between RGB. These indicate whether your changes affect all the colors or just one, red, green or blue. Step 4. Make sure the preview box is checked on. Choose the channel you wish to change and drag the triangles. Dragging the black triangle to the right will make the shadows in your photo darker. Dragging the white triangle to the left will make the highlights in your photo lighter, and dragging it to the right will make the midtones darker. You will be able to see the changes in your image. Replacing colors. Use the color replacement tool to paint over one color with another. When you start painting with the color replacement tool, it analyzes the first pixels you paint over because then only it replaces pixels of a similar color. You can use the color replacement tool to change the color of the child's cap in the image. Step 1. Zoom in to see the child's gap clearly. Step 2. Select the color replacement tool in the Tools panel. Step 3. Click the foreground color swatch in the Tools panel. In the Color Picker dialog box, select a color. You will paint the foreground color over the pink gap. Step 4. In the Options bar, open the Brush pop-up panel to view brush options. Step 5. Move the size slider to 25 pixels, the hardness slider to 45%, and the spacing slider to 30%. Choose Off from the Size and Tolerance menus. Step 6. Click outside the Brush pop-up panel to close it. Step 7. In the Options bar, choose Hue from the Mode menu. Then click Sampling Continuous, the button next to the Hue menu. Choose Find Edges from the Limits menu and set the tolerance to 32%. Make sure Anti-Alias is selected. Step 8. Begin painting in the middle of the cap and paint out toward the edges. Step 9. Choose a smaller brush and continue painting out towards the edges of the cap. You can zoom in if needed. Step 10. When the cap color turns blue, you can save the file. Clone Stamp Tool. The Clone Stamp tool uses pixels from one area of an image to replace the pixels of another part of the image. It duplicates some part of image by setting a sampling point in the image to be cloned. Using this tool, you can not only remove unwanted objects from your images, even you can also fill in missing area in photographs which are scanned from damaged originals. Step 1. Select the Clone Stamp tool in the Tools panel. Step 2. In the Options bar, open the Brush pop-up menu and set the size to 21 and the hardness to 0%. Then make sure that the Aligned option is selected. Step 3. Click on Window tab and choose Clone Source to open the Clone Source panel. This panel gives you greater control over the area you are cloning from. Step 4. Select the Show Overlay and Clipped option in the Clone Source panel and make sure that opacity is set to 100%. The overlay lets you to see what you are cloning before you stamp it. Step 5. Move the Clone Stamp tool over the darker bricks just to the right of the hotspot on the wall. Step 6. Press Alt key, click to start sampling that part of the image. When you press Alt key, the pointer appears as target crosshairs. Step 7. Start dragging the Clone Stamp tool to the right over the hotspot on the bricks. The clone overlay lets you see what will appear there. This is particularly useful for keeping the bricks in a straight line. Step 8. Continue cloning the bricks until the entire hotspot is filled in. You can adjust your cloning by resetting the sample area and recloning, or you can try deselecting the Aligned option and cloning again. Step 9. When you are over with the appearance of the bricks, close the Clone Source panel and click on File tab and select Save option to save the file. Hue or Saturation tool. The Hue or Saturation command adjusts the hue, color, saturation, intensity, and lightness of the entire image or of individual color components in an image. To use this tool, follow the steps given below. Step 1. Open any image. Step 2. Select the image or part of an image by using the rectangular marquee tool. Click on the image, Adjustments, Hue or Saturation. Step 3. The Hue or Saturation dialog box will appear. Step 4. Adjust the hue settings to -40, saturation to +35, and lightness to +15. Step 5. You will notice the change in the color of the selected image. Magic Wand Tool. The Magic Wand tool selects all the pixels of a particular color or color range. It is most useful for selecting an area of similar colors surrounded by area of very different colors. The tolerance option sets the sensitivity of the Magic Wand tool. This value limits or extends the range of pixel similarity. The default tolerance value is 30. You may need to adjust the tolerance level up or down depending on the color ranges and variations in the image. Step 1. Select the Magic Wand tool hidden under the Quick Selection tool. Step 2. In the options bar, confirm that the tolerance value is 30. This value determines the range of colors the house selects. Step 3. Select the Add to Selection button in the options bar. A plus sign appears next to the wand in the pointer icon. Anything you select now will be added from the initial selection. The Magic Wand tool selects the entire area, adding it from the selection. Step 4. Select the Hue or Saturation tool color, drag the line into the selected area to change the appearance. Step 5. Click on Select option and then on Deselect option, and then save your file. Gradient tool. The Gradient tool allows you to create a gradient, two solid colors faded into one another in a blend. You can create gradient for a particular portion or for an entire layer. It is very useful in redrawing, designing, etc. Step 1. Select the Magic Wand tool and select the empty space. Step 2. Open the image to which you want to apply the gradient effect. Step 3. Click the rectangular gradient icon in the Tools palette on the left. The gradient toolbar will appear at the top of screen. Step 4. Double-click in the second drop-down window and the gradient editor will display. Step 5. Towards the bottom of the editor, click the little square box on the right below the horizontal bar. Step 6. Set the smoothness of the gradient as required. Step 7. Click on OK. Step 8. Drag your cursor from the top to the bottom of your image. Hold down your Shift key while you do it to make the line straight. Step 9. Release your cursor and the gradient should display. Text tool. Text can be added to your file, residing on a text layer where you can manipulate it and add effects to it. You can choose different typeface, text weight such as bold, italic, regular, condensed, a text size and the amount of sharpness the text will appear on screen. Each time you create a new text area or click on a new part of the canvas to type text, Photoshop will automatically create a new text layer for that text to reside on. Text can then be edited just like in any word processor software. Step 1. Select the horizontal type tool, T. Step 2. Choose character from the window menu. The character panel opens. Step 3. Make the necessary changes. The font to rate italic, regular, and 48 point. Set the leading to 60 point. Set the color to a white. Step 4. Click the Type tool, click on the screen. A small box will appear as your starting point. Step 5. Type your text. By default, Photoshop makes text point text. This means you need to hit Enter to manually insert line breaks. To change it to paragraph text, right-click on the text layer and choose Convert to Paragraph Text. Lesson Sum Up. Adobe Photoshop is a program used for creating and modifying images. Red eye removal option is used to change the red color of an eye. Color replacement tool is used to paint over one color with another. Clone stamp tool uses pixels from one area of an image to replace the pixels of another part of the image. The hue or saturation command adjusts the hue, color, saturation, intensity, and lightness of other color components in an image. Gradient tool is used to fade two solid colors into one another in a blend. Magic Wand tool is used to select an area of similar colors surrounded by area of very different colors. The default tolerance value of Magic Wand tool is 32.